KZ2s, the Gearbox carts out on track now, and these are the quickest carts we'll see at Watergrass Hill all weekend. 6-speed sequential gearbox, 1.5 seconds a lap quicker than anything else, and you can see the speed of them now as they head down with number 1 James O'Keefe at the head of the field. Last year's champion, right with him and attacking already, is 46 Mark Daly, a hugely experienced gearbox carter. So these KF2 carts now very, very quick, as we said, and very physical to drive. A lot of gear changing obviously involved, which the other drivers don't have. And Michael Schumacher actually famously uses one of these KZ2 carts to keep fit, so that's how physical they are. But very, very quick machines. Battles all the way along the grid, as we say. But the two people to watch up the front are number 1, our leader, James O'Keefe, with that Red Bull styling on the side. Then 46, Mark Daly. They're beginning to get away. In fact, that's Michael Curran up to 3rd place, I think. So watch out for him. But good battle there for 3rd as the other two begin to, indeed it is, as the other two begin to streak away. And Daly will know that he has to stay in touch with number 1 James O'Keefe. Anyone that's won a championship in karting, they'll tend to have a lot of experience with them, and they'll be wily old foxes, so if they can get a chance to get away early, that's exactly what they'll do. Beautiful drifts from both of these drivers as they come through that corner, really carrying a lot of speed over the crest of the hill on the main straight, through the long right-hander, and carrying that all the way down to hairpin 1. But in fact, Mark Daly looking fractionally quicker now, down the inside with a big lunge over the inside curb, and a flash of the outside nose cone there of the leader, or the former leader, because now we're back in the lead again. So great stuff between these two. Number 1 James O'Keefe just heading off Mark Daly, but they are slowing each other down a little bit. And watching the background, the green helmet, the man we spoke about, Michael Curran, he got up to 3rd place early on. He's banging in quick slaps. He's not getting involved in any of these this racing incidents like we see down here. Down the inside again, Daly takes the lead. And no scraps for the 3rd place man. He'll be loving this, as he said. A bit of side-by-side action up front is just what he needs. He's taking big chunks out of the leaders now, and he's hoping to get up there. And another big go down the inside for number 1. These guys really having a go anywhere and everywhere. They're not normal overtaking maneuvers, but they don't care. Lunging at each other. We're inside the final lap now, the top 3 together, but we've got some back markers in front. They've been well behaved all weekend. Blue flags being waved by the marshals. They don't turn in, let everybody by. O'Keefe now with another run at 46. They're very, very close. Our onboard man in 2nd place. But 46, Mark Daly, be looking to hang on to this. He's very experienced. And in 3rd place, Michael Curran will be just pleading for a few more laps. He's just getting up on the bumper of these two. But this is it, through the king for the last time. It's going to be 46, Mark Daly. He takes the win from 1 James O'Keefe. And an impressive performance from Michael Curran in 3rd.
Mark, a hard-fought race. Congratulations. Tell me how it was.
Yeah, it was very hard to ride, to be honest. We had a good battle at the start, alright. And I knew he was there all the time. I could hear him behind me. So I was just head down and keep going. Try not to look behind too much anyway. Tends to slow you down.
Brilliant. And I believe this is your local track. Any advantages there for you?
You know, I suppose there's a bit of an advantage. I grew up right next door to it, so if there's not an advantage here, there probably isn't anywhere else. So it's probably a small bit, alright.
So KZ2 for their 2nd final, and Mark Daly it is leading as they head down through the long right-hander on board with O'Keefe. Oh, and Daly slows suddenly. Is that a misgear? He's still going. Must have been a misgear. He gets swamped back into the back, but he's back down the outside of the brakes and minimises the damage. He's still in 3rd place there, I think. But certainly looks like it's James O'Keefe out in front now, and 2 Curran, the guy that did all the charging in the 1st final, is up to 2nd place. So all of a sudden now, Mark Daly with a little bit of work to do in this one. Back to 3rd place, not where he wants to be, and well back, because with the head down there out in front now is number 1 James O'Keefe. And James O'Keefe, a danger man, if he can stay out there, could perhaps begin to stretch away, and that's not what Mark Daly will want to see. That's what's happening. He's got the head down in the Red Bull coloured cart and beginning to ease away. We're on board now with Mark Daly as he tries to close in on Curran. A little bit sideways there for Curran. Tyres still a little bit cold. They're beginning to push as hard as they can, but out in front and making no mistakes is number 1 James O'Keefe, and he really will want to get away if he can. Mark Daly now right with number 2. That's Michael Curran. Curran looks over the shoulder, knows he has a quick guy behind him, turns in perhaps a smidgen early there, doesn't want to leave a gap, as we've seen a lot of people do on this programme tonight. He doesn't do it and keeps that closed, but good battles there now. Daly piling on the pressure. Number 2 beginning to look a little bit twitchy in the car, moving around, a sign that he's under pressure, but as I say that, begins to perhaps just ease away a little bit. And these KZ2 carts, very impressive. And the age profile coming down a little bit in terms of gearbox carts. Many years ago, the guys that stayed in karting for years would always go into 125 and never have any aspirations. A lot of these guys are young and do have aspirations. And the winner of the championship this year is going to get a free season of Irish Formula V, so they will move up into single-seater cars. next year. And that'll be very, very interesting because the talent is obviously very, very sharp at the front of these ones. So 1 James O'Keefe and 2 Michael Curran, the guys out in front, and 46 Daly with a job to do in this one. Really is not going according to plan to him. So he's going to have to get the head down and begin to charge. So another midfield battle coming towards us. 11 there is Nathan Koss, and 18 right with him and pushing very hard is Emmett Scully. And these guys drifting the carts around quite a lot now. And then it's 37, that's Jamie Meehan, and bearing down on him is 413 John Daly. So great battles in this one. And Daly as late as he can be on the brakes and pushing very hard out front is Jamie Meehan in this one. They're quite closely matched as they head back through the kink. Meehan still leading this little battle, goes in perhaps a little bit too quick, gets an armful of opposite lock, holds it beautifully, but it costs him time, and Daly nails him on the way out. But straight away Jamie Meehan trying to have a go back at him, and does have a go back down the inside. Great battle between these guys, swapping places everywhere. That's good hard clean racing between 37 there and 413 John Daly. So fantastic stuff. It's back as we started now, but I wonder how long it'll stay that way for. Jamie Meehan getting a little bit out of shape on the brakes as he tries to defend there from 413 John Daly right behind him, and they really are together now as they head down there. Number 20 is Robert O'Keefe. That's the next top racer in Rotax Max. Just hasn't really come together for him in these gearbox carts. I wonder what the issue is there. He's no shortage of pace himself. We're in the final closing stages of this one now, and James O'Keefe well out in the lead. He really has done nicely in this one and dominated proceedings. Number 1 out of the hairpin, no problem. But look at these two, and this is the pair that we watched, Meehan and Daly, and they're really having a go at each other. Just what the leader doesn't want to catch. They're banging side pods on the last corner. They're all over the place. He just pulls out to the right, takes the checkered flag, and James O'Keefe takes the win. Curran takes second place, and Mark Daly right there in third.
James, congratulations, your first win of the season. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, fairly good, yeah. Fairly close in the first final there, but second final managed to get the win, and won championship last 2 years in a row, so fairly close both times, so looking fairly close this year as well.
So KZ2, the first final of the weekend for the Gearbox carts, the fastest machines we'll see on circuit this weekend, and a great start from the outside of the front row for number 4 Darren Marr to steal the lead away from poleman number 1 James O'Keefe. We're on board with James O'Keefe now, and you can see number 4 Darren Marr pushing very hard, the cart moving around on cold tyres, knows he's in front of a really quick man and wants to get a good lap in. So these two guys now with the head down, two of the quickest guys in Gearbox karting in Ireland, through the long sweeping left-hander, absolutely together. Marr hanging on now ahead of O'Keefe. Again, this great shot. We're on board with O'Keefe. Bird's eye view now, and we can see as he closes in a little bit and then loses out slightly on traction out of that corner, but he's closing in again as they come through the sweeping right-hander, down through the dip and back up to the first overtaking place on the lap. Doesn't make it on this occasion. In fact, a little bit defensive there for Darren Marr. Holds the inside of the road, slows him down slightly, and a big attack there on the brakes down into that right-hander from O'Keefe, but doesn't make it stick on that occasion. These two beginning to pull away. It's Marr still from O'Keefe now as they go through the right-hander and down through the dip. Good battle there for third place between Nathan Goss and Emmett Scully, and another big stab up the inside on board again. Really isn't wasting any time. Wants that lead. Number 4 hanging on out front, but James O'Keefe really on the attack now as they come through the left-hander again. But that battle we were talking about was 10 Nathan Goss and 18 Emmett Scully. They're having a great battle and keeping in touch with the two leaders, so they could pick up the pieces if it goes wrong up front. They look very, very closely matched up front though. So two good battles developing in this one, the battle for the lead and that battle for third place. We're on board again with James O'Keefe. He's been sizing him up everywhere. Has a look down the inside and takes the lead. Good move there. Nothing Darren Marr could do about that one. And Marr back into second place. The rest all coming through there. That battle for second. Goss and Scully, and then Wheeler, O'Keefe and the rest coming through. Jumping forward to the last lap now. And well out in front, having banged in a few quick laps, is number 1 James O'Keefe. As we said, Marr got the jump early on, led for a while, driving beautifully, but James O'Keefe nailed it down the inside and really has put the head down in a class of his own out front now. It's still the cart moving around, pushing quite hard, even though there's nobody close to him in this, the final lap now. A great onboard view, a clear track ahead, something a karter loves to see, through that left-hander, back down to the right-hander for the last time. You can almost see the checkered flag now, through that kink out onto the main straight, and has a quick look round. He wants to see how much he's won by. A considerable margin is the answer, James. Darren Marr in second, Nathan Goss in third, Emmett Scully, Gary Wheeler and Robert O'Keefe in sixth.
James, a fantastic result. Can you talk me through the race there?
Yeah, started fourth from the heats. Made it up second after first 2 or 3 corners. and felt like I had the pace. When I was the second there, had a couple of moves, and with a move after 4 or 5 laps, got lead and held it.
So Gearbox final 2, and again it's James O'Keefe on pole position. He hangs on to it this time, despite Maher's best effort round the outside. So O'Keefe it is, leading down the back. We're on board with number 2, Michael Curran. He's already got number 10 in his sights. That's Nathan Goss. Goss up over the inside curb, cost some time, and we're straight by. That's Scully next up in front of us. So Curran already up to 4th place. Good charge from him early on. And let's see if he can do anything about Emmett Scully in this one. Emmett Scully all over the place on cold tyres there, the cart moving around. But staying right with Maher in this one. We're on board with Curran again. I wonder can he close in here. The first 3 beginning to get away, not sure if he can. And it's James O'Keefe out in front as it was, but not so much of a lead as he had in race 1. Maher staying with him, but big pressure there from Scully. Oh, more than pressure, contact from Scully. That sends Maher wide and allows Scully up into 2nd place. So a little bit unorthodox, but quite an effective way of passing there. And he's up to 2nd place. But look at this, Curran up to 4th place, having a go now. Maher, is he? Oh, great move through that quick right-hand corner, kicking the back of the cart out as he got late on the brakes, but down the inside, did it all correctly. We're on board with him now, and next on his list is Scully in 2nd place. And Scully drifting the cart round as he does, but we're definitely closing in now. This great onboard shot through that tight middle complex. Back out of that now, nobody bothering the leader, James O'Keefe, but Curran certainly looking very much like a danger man in this one. Coming all the way from the back, didn't feature in race 1, but here he comes. Definitely closing in now on Scully. And I wonder does Scully know there's a car closing in behind him? He's probably concentrating on the leader, hoping to close in a little bit on him through this right-hand kink. This is where Scully made that move for 2nd place. No contact this time round, but certainly Curran looking very, very threatening now in 3rd place and looking for 2nd place. Here they come out onto the main straight. We know this move that he can do. He's going to the inside again. Same move, big dose of opposite lock down the inside, and nothing Scully can do about it. So Curran really providing all the entertainment in this one with a great charge up through the field. And now jumping forward, they're pulling away from the rest of the grid. So great battle going on there with Scully, Maher, Gary Wheeler and number 10 Nathan Goss all battling away there. And Maher certainly not showing the pace or the look that he had perhaps in race number 1. Really the cards have fallen against him in this one. He's falling right back, and Wheeler beginning to challenge him now in this one. A great battle, a midfield battle in this one. So Maher leading it now. Wheeler and all the rest right in there too. Nathan Goss, number 10. They seem very, very closely matched and not too far behind Scully. But look at that up the front of the screen, because the charging Curran has not only got away from Scully, he's closed right up to James O'Keefe. Faster lap time in this side, at this stage of the race. A change there as Goss gets down the inside of Maher. But it's all about the battle up the front, because that lead battle closing right down. Great scrap in the midfield, but watch the top of the screen, bottom of the screen I should say, as they come through again. We're waiting for the leaders absolutely together. So towards the closing stage of this one, a great battle developing up front. That's 20 Robert O'Keefe and 10 Nathan Goss having a go. And still O'Keefe hanging on out the front of this one, or Maher I should say hanging on at the front of this battle. That's Wheeler right with him now as they go through that left-right complex. But here come the leaders on the last lap now. And it is James O'Keefe hanging on, but Curran has closed right up. We're on board with Curran. Great shot now. Both of them pushing very, very hard right out to the curbs. The cart's moving around quite a lot. And this is the closest we've seen at the front of this class, the KZ2 class. But certainly hanging on out front is O'Keefe. Curran now right with him. Not quite close enough that time to have a go down the inside of the brakes. One more chance here probably for a manoeuvre. Don't think it's going to happen. So James O'Keefe should hang on for the double. Indeed he does. But what a great race by Michael Curran, charging all the way up to 2nd place. Emmett Scully in 3rd, Gary Wheeler in 4th, Darren Maher in 5th, and Nathan Goss rounding out the top 6. So it's the quick carts coming out now, the KZ2s, the Gearbox carts, 6-speed Gearbox, the quickest carts by a considerable margin around this track. They're very, very quick, a lot of driving, even more physical perhaps than the non-Gearbox carts, and you can hear them up and down through the gears. Number 1 out in front, James O'Keefe, reigning champion and more or less unbeatable, really, really quick guy in this class, gets away and has the entire package. Good battles though coming down through the rest of them. It looks like Darren Maher and a few others, in Nathan Goss involved there, Scully right in there too. Great battles as they head through this infield section. But up front and getting away already is number 1, James O'Keefe. Gearbox carts now coming out of the hairpin up through the gears. You can see them there, right hand moving as they keep pulling gears, and carts getting a little bit out of shape as they get pinfield that was, just they come out onto the back straight side by side now. That's Curran trying to get past number 10 Goss, doesn't make it, or does he? Does, stays alongside, and that brings Scully with him I think. So that's Cost, number 10, got to the back of that group. Let's see if he can fight back from that one. Curran, the man with the in second of this group here, is the local man, and he's really on a charge now, beginning to pick these guys off, and he's going to make another place. Great run out of the hairpin, and gets by Pinfeld. I wonder, is that a mistake, or was there a misgear there, because just drove by him on the exit of the hairpin. But certainly Curran looking very, very determined today. Head bent slightly forward, really trying, using all the curb, and if these three keep battling now, he should be able to get away. Won't have to defend, because he's already got a 1 or 2 cart like he did have, but they've come back at him there through that hairpin. But a good run through here, should see him clear. Nice drift as he comes out of that corner and down the long back straight, and that's where these Gearbox carts really get up to speed. Pinfeld looking for down the inside there, up in the air, loses a little bit of pace. That's backing them all up, and that's just what Curran needs to get away now. Good battle, this one, for what's now 4th place. Curran's up to 3rd place and chasing down the 2 leaders. We can see them going through in the foreground. In fact, Marr having a good run there, chasing after James O'Keefe out front. But this is where the battle is, and this is what we're concentrating on now. Number 10, Nathan Cost, right in the middle of this action. Curran now with the head down, banging in some good lap times and beginning to pull away from this group. He will really want to get up with the 2 leaders, but you can see them at the top of your screen. They're a little bit too far away, I think, even for the local man, Curran, who's on a charge at this stage. But 3 of them coming out of the hairpin now through the long right-hander again and out onto the back straight. And that's, as we said, where these 125s really get up ahead of steam. Watch the speed from the other cameras. They come into our view here, down towards this kink onto the start-finish straight to complete another lap. So great battles. That's Pinfeld still at the head of this group, under attack now from Koss and Scully right in there too. So really, really close stuff in the midfield, and a little bit of contact there from 10. Koss just letting Pinfeld know that he's there. Pinfeld moves to the inside, a little bit defensive as he comes up the hairpin. We know that that's an overtaking place, but has it all covered. Oh, more contact and up in the air. Maybe he was delayed a little bit at the apex. He's not too happy about that. Just spun around, and that's him up and out of the cart. But look at this, because it's Mike Curran has caught Darren Marr. So Curran on a charge and right with Darren Marr with just a lap to run in this one. And that is a good run from Curran. Fought his way through that midfield battle and charged back up onto the back bumper of Darren Marr now. So a lot of work for Marr to do to hold him back. But he is inside the last lap. Maybe he'll be able to go a little bit wide there, but just manages to carry the speed and close the door. There's the leader. We haven't seen much of him. It's a Sunday drive for James O'Keefe now. Way out in front. Hard on the brakes. Flicks the car through the last corner. Out onto the curb, takes the checkered flag, and he'll be changed into his civvies by the time this battle arrives. Here they go, just hanging on for 2nd place is Darren Marr, and a great drive from Curran to 3rd. Then it was Nathan Koss, Mark Pinfield and Kieran Walsh.
James, another great win there. How did you find the race altogether?
Fairly good, yeah. Was on pole, so kind of made it a bit easier, but there's 2 lads keeping the same gap behind me, so I'd say the times are fairly close.
KZ2 final 2, and the same question as ever, can anyone beat James O'Keefe? Curran's going to start up further. He's already in 2nd place. We're on board with Darren Marr. He's the local guy, my mistake. So Darren Marr, the local guy, there in 3rd place. But out in front, as ever, is James O'Keefe. But the boys really want to have a go at him this time. They know he'll just get away and begin to ease away. And you see that in these karting classes. If somebody's dominant, it's dangerous to battle with somebody else, because they've just got that little bit of pace and they'll start to inch away. And even if you match their lap times, you're not going to get back up to them. But I think Curran knows this, and Michael Curran on a charge, trying to hang on to the back now of the pace setter in this class, number 1, James O'Keefe. O'Keefe with a good run out of the hairpin, beginning to stretch it. This is the danger time. They need to stay with him if they're going to be able to. Look, first 3 not too far apart now. This looks a little bit closer for these guys. Curran hanging on and bringing Darren Marr, the local man, with him, and in fact close enough to have a go now. And really all over the back of the leader this time. And number 1 not used to this. A little bit of contact just to let him know he's there. And I'm right behind you. I think he knows at this stage. This is great stuff. We don't see battles like this, because usually James O'Keefe is just dominant in this one, but he's really having to work for it today, because on a charge now is number 2, Curran, and bringing with him Darren Marr, the local man, right there in 3rd place. And Marr hanging on to this battle superbly. So I wonder, are we going to see a change of lead? He really is trying hard. No mistakes, perhaps a little bit wide that time for James O'Keefe, the leader, but I think that was just to get a better drag out of the corner, and it's worked. A great run out of that hairpin, as we've seen him do before, and that does stretch it out and leaves him, he's not prone to attack then on the run down that long back straight once he gets a good run through the quick right-hand corner. So great stuff there. Good battles again going on. The same culprits as we saw in race 1, battling away and getting way out of shape over the curb. Tricky last corner, that we mentioned it before, but really is good to watch. This is Pinfeld now, I think it is, indeed it is, and he's under big attack from number 10, Nathan Koss, and Koss looking very aggressive here, trying different lines, gets to the inside. Can he get alongside on the way out? I think he can. Gets a better drive out of the corner. That was good stuff. Set him up on the way in and just drove by him on the way out. So 10, Koss takes that place from Mark Pinfield, but Pinfield's looking for it back here, and these two pretty equally matched, as we saw in the first final. But a good run through that complex, the centre complex there for Koss. So this is good stuff now. 10 Nathan Cost beginning to pull away. Quick look over the shoulder perhaps, but I think he knows that he's got a good run through there. We're on board now with number 4, Darren Marr. And who's this? That's that Scully. Charged all the way up to Darren Marr. Indeed it is. Emmett Scully. Great drive from him. He's caught Darren Marr. Marr fights back, but Scully just slams the door shut through the kink left. Has it covered down into the hairpin. This is good stuff. Just fired it up the inside into one of the hairpins and came from well back, Scully. So a good drive from him. And he's up to 3rd place now. So this is great stuff. Could get the final step on the podium if he can hold off Darren Marr. So here's the leader O'Keefe, and he's managed to stretch that gap out again as he normally does through the kink, and he's used to getting the checkered flag at this stage. Hand in the air, he takes the win. Great drive from Curran in 2nd place, and looks like Scully's going to hang on for a superb 3rd. Indeed he does. Darren Marr in 4th, Nathan Coss in 5th, and Mark Pinfield in 6th.
Michael, congratulations. 2nd place, how do you feel about it?
Not too bad considering I didn't finish any of the 2 heats. I had an accident in heat 1 and unfortunately it put me out of heat 2 as well with damage. But yeah, I was glad to get back and finish 2nd overall, you know.
Can you talk me through the race, a bit of a battle with James?
Yeah, I was good at the start. I think I just set my tyre pressure a little bit too high to try and... I was hoping I'd get him earlier on the race and then the tyres just went off a little bit towards the end. So, but other than that, yeah, it was a good battle at the start, you know.
KZ2 is getting ready to go now. The fastest karts here this weekend as ever. 6-speed gearbox, 125cc engines, and away they go. And it's 46. That's Mark Daly leading. We're on board now with 4, Darren Marr. A little bit of side pod banging down into turn 1. Then they come back out onto this great straight, getting up through the gears. A kink left here, which unsettles the karts. Great stuff with the drivers just using a little bit of curb. Back on board now and right over that curb with number 2, Michael Curran. He's in 3rd place, closing down on number 1, James O'Keefe. But of course they don't want to let the leader get away. 46. Mark Daly out in front of this one through the long right hander, then a kink left, and just watch the karts bumping around, really getting up to a lot of speed here. They're so much quicker than the other karts in a straight line, these 125 gearbox karts, and they really can stretch their legs on that long back straight. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 beginning to get away. That's Daly, O'Keefe, Curran and Marr in the early stages of this one. In fact, Marr being dropped just a little bit. So O'Keefe trying to hang on to the back of Daly, the 2 red karts up front. Again, down through the gears through this long right-hander, using the curb on the exit there. 3rd place man, Michael Curran, looking a little bit ragged there as he gets opposite lock on and drifts out over the curbs to the left-hander again and back to the right. And first 3 now together. It's Daly, O'Keefe and Curran absolutely together. And Curran looking like he's on a charge here. Trying to take 2nd place now from number 1, James O'Keefe. And different lines being used through the long right-hander, trying to get a run onto that long back straight. And we're on board now with number 2. Curran, is he going to have a look down the inside? He is. Great stuff. Throws it down the inside, just misses the leader, and perfectly executed. He's up to 2nd place now, and splitting the 2 red cards. So it's Daly, Curran, O'Keefe now. But O'Keefe going to fight back, I think immediately. He does, in fact, down the inside again. And we've got to unwind our lock and out onto the marbles. That costs time. The marbles, when you go off the racing line, there can be bits of dirt, bits of rubber out there that'll slow you right down. No alternative when somebody comes down the inside like that. So good battling between these guys. A big armful of opposite lock from number 1, James O'Keefe, as he tries to reel in Mark Daly. But Daly looking comfortable out in front of this one. So no one's really challenged him yet. They've run quite close to him. First 4 together because Darren Marr's done a couple of good laps and he's back up there now and right with Michael Curran. In fact, there we're on board with Marr. Almost down the inside of Curran, but doesn't make it stick on that occasion. Curran a little bit wide on the exit, and the battle continues. So the first 4 now having streaked away from the rest of the field, but still relatively close together. And there's the checkered flag. So Daly takes it from O'Keefe, Curran, and Marr in 3rd place.
Mark, 2nd win so far this season. You must be pleased.
Yeah, very pleased. The race went very well. Yeah, it was handy to start at the front anyway, rather than back in the middle of the grid. The lads behind had a bit of a coming together, I'm sure. So it suited me just to get off on my own.
So the 2nd KZ2 final now, and the grid getting ready to go. Given the okay, and away they go, and Poleman leads them down into turn 1. We're on board again with number 2, Michael Curran. Great shot up the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact from both sides there. And number 1 making great use of that, James O'Keefe, and just nipping ahead there on the run down that straight and through that kink left. So all action down into turn 1. But as in the first one, it's Daly leading 46. And with him this time is Darren Marr with a distinctive helmet in 2nd place. So it's 46. 4 Darren Marr in there too. All the rest come streaming through, and they'll be all hoping to hang on to the leader, but it's still 46. 1 looking for a go down the inside that time. That's James O'Keefe looking very aggressive, but around they go. Contact there. Our leader's gone. 66 also involved in that one, Gary Wheeler. So they've all been wiped out, and all of a sudden now it's Darren Marr leading and Emmett Scully having a go at him. So we've lost two or three carts there in that one down into the hairpin. 46, 2 and 66 it is. So that's Mark Daly, Michael Curran and Gary Wheeler all out, and it looks like number 2, Curran, with a broken track rod there. The front wheel is not pointing the direction they should do, but back on track now, and it's a really good battle beginning to develop here between Darren Marr now and Emmett Scully in the black cart right with him. As Scully moving around behind him, looking to have a go. Those carts, drivers well able to pull those carts out of the way. Of course, they haven't got electric start, so even if the carts are okay, they won't be able to rejoin. So this is 12, Jason Connaughton, the novice there, being closed down by number 1, James O'Keefe, who's recovering and on a charge back up through the field now, and he closes down the novice, not by too much. Good job here by Connaughton. Notice, of course, he's got black background, number 12 there, white numbers, black background. All of it shows us that's a novice, hasn't done 6 races yet, but being closed right down now. And can he get down the inside? I think he can quite easily down the inside on the brakes, and Connaughton will be trying to tuck in behind O'Keefe now and learn a little bit from him, but O'Keefe far more aggressive on the exit of the corner, using more track. To the battle now for second place, raging Emmett Scully with the black side pods, and Nathan Koss now right with him. So good battle between these two, getting a little bit sideways on the exit of the hairpin there. 10 Scully as he tries to stay ahead, but Koss all over the back of him at the moment. This battle for second place, of course, Darren Marr having pulled away, and it looks like he's going to have a look now, number 10 Koss, and he does. Down the inside of Scully there. Scully fights back straight away, but nothing he can do. Next one, the right-hander. We're on to the last lap now. Really is a big scrap for second place in this one. Great stuff. 10 there, just leading Koss, and Scully right with him. Is he going to have another go? I think he is. Inside the last lap. Very, very close stuff between these two. That's the leader now heading to the finish, Darren Marr. He's done a great job. Nobody to touch him. Way out in front, but just look behind him, because this titanic battle's still going there. And Scully with a big look down the inside, very sideways, and takes it. But does he go wide on the exit? I think he does. And 10 fights back Nathan Koss. Great stuff. They're absolutely side by side now inside the closing stages of this one. Really having a go. Nothing troubling our leader. He takes the win, Darren Marr. We can't separate them for second place. They're still side by side going across the line. But there it is. Marr takes it. Scully just about in second place after a great battle with Koss, and O'Keefe in fourth.
Darren, congratulations on a great win. Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, I got very lucky in the third or fourth corner there. It was a bit of an incident, and for once luck was on my side, and we got through the gap and we held it from there, so happy out. Yeah, the track is very fast today. We're quicker than we normally are here, so it's a good day. And weather, rain stayed away, so we're happy we got a dry day as well.
First KZ2 final out the Gearbox carts, and they're the quickest carts here this weekend. Michael Curran, number 2, leads away, and he's first down into turn 1. 18 Emmett Scully next up, a little bit edgy there on cold tires. The cart moving around. We're on board with number 1, the reigning champion, James O'Keefe. He's done the winning on this programme before, but a little bit of work for him to do now, because these two guys out in front, Curran and 18, as we said, Emmett Scully right there too. So James O'Keefe's the danger man in third place, the red cart. Round the long left-hander for the first time and out the back. Great onboard shots there with number 18, Emmett Scully, right in front of us. Scully, one of the more spectacular drivers, out over the curbs again as they come up over the crest and back towards us. But moving in now is James O'Keefe as the leader begins to get away. Michael Cullen pushing very hard, drifting the car through the left-hand corner there. Perfect, getting his apex through that next left-hander, double left, and then through the right out onto the back straight. James O'Keefe now a little bit closer, and a good run out of that corner, which is crucial. Up through the gears now, right in behind Emmett Scully, and down the inside, just takes that place. Number 1, James O'Keefe, puts him up to second place, but he's going to have to push very hard to try and catch Michael Curran, who's out front and driving really well, not making any mistakes at this stage. And again, Scully looking a little bit ragged there as he goes wide, pushing very hard, back of the cart, moving around. Won't be happy, of course, with James O'Keefe taking that place from him. And O'Keefe streaking away in second place. They've left Emmett Scully. And that's Darren Marr, another front runner in this class, the orange helmet. He's gone off and just standing beside his cart. He'll have to spectate, unfortunately, for the rest of this one. But Michael Curran out front, pushing really hard, and maybe closing the gap just a little bit is James O'Keefe. But Curran doing beautifully. Then Emmett Scully dropping back slightly now. Scully and Nathan Koss, is that next up possibly? Indeed it is, having a go. So Scully with a little bit of trouble coming behind him. It looks like a battle's about to start here, because number 10, Nathan Koss, closing in now on Emmett Scully for this battle for third place. Two leaders far away, as we can see both of them out over the curves. Again, Scully kicking the tail out of that cart. Really does like the cart moving around under him. A lot of opposite lock being used there, a lot of curb down through the right-hander. But Nathan Koss looks a little bit smoother at this stage and is just inching up to his back bumper. So I wonder will we see a move coming here in the next few laps. Scully there in third place, Koss in fourth place, so Koss will be looking for that last podium position. The two leaders still going on board with O'Keefe now. That's Curran in front, similar lines, but being used by both right out over the curves. But we're inside the closing stages, and that I think is as close as he's going to get. So pushing very, very hard. Oh, unfortunately, Koss off. He was mounting a challenge, driving well there in that fourth place. But here's number 2. He's led from the flag from the start, and it looks like he's going to lead to the finish because James O'Keefe, nothing he can do. Lap times almost identical now through the last corner. A delighted Michael Curran puts his fist in the air. O'Keefe charges across the line behind him in second place. Emmett Scully takes third, Aaron McMaster fourth, Robert O'Keefe fifth, and Mark Pinfield sixth.
Michael, congratulations, a great race. Will you talk us through it?
Yeah, well, it was good to get a start from pole, like, makes all the difference. So just kept the head down, try to not make any mistakes and keep going, and hope the checkered flag will come sooner.
Second KZ2 final now, and it's Curran and O'Keefe on the front row. Great start from pole man Curran. His confidence, no doubt, on a high, having won the first final, and he leads the pack now down into the middle section here with James O'Keefe in close attendance. O'Keefe, as we said before, very quick guy. He'll be looking to challenge Curran in this one. Surely won't let him get away. 77, Aaron McMaster right with him there in third place. The kart's moving around, you'll notice, on cold tyres. They run slick racing tyres, of course, and until they're up to full operating temperatures, the karts look a little bit skittish in the early laps. We're on board with O'Keefe now. Great shot as he tries to close in on Curran. Looks a little bit quicker mid-corner, but Curran gets on the power nice and early and just extends that gap 1 or 2 kart lengths now at this stage. So good battle developing at the front of this one. The rest of the pack screaming through. That's Darren Marr right at the back of the distinctive orange helmet. Didn't finish the last final, remember, but we know he's a potential front runner, so we'll keep an eye on him. And that's him just coming through there now. He's up a place already ahead of Jason Connaughton, the novice there. Here come the leaders out onto the main straight. Looking over his shoulder now is Michael Curran, but right with him is James O'Keefe. And O'Keefe, number 1, the reigning champion, will be looking to stop Curran getting a double win here. So this is a big battle out at the front of this one through the double left-hander. 77 staying right with them now. McMaster, good run from him too. 18 Emmett Scully right in there too. So the first 4 now beginning to break away through that long left-hand corner. Quite hard on the drivers, really quick corner. And these karts got loads of grip. Then through the quick left-right. And then up through the rise onto this back straight. Here they come towards us again, a little bit closer perhaps at the front now as James O'Keefe begins to pile the pressure on. We're looking at this midfield battle now. Great battle. That's O'Keefe, Pinfeld, Koss and Darren Marr. And Koss going to have a look here, possibly at Pinfield. He does down the inside. Oh, all goes wrong. Lucky not to make contact with Pinfeld there. And that puts the charging Darren Marr up another place. He's come all the way from the back, remember. And Marr now having a look at Pinfeld. So good battle as they come out onto the main straight. So Pinfeld now looking to have a go at Robert O'Keefe. O'Keefe, number 20, leading this group. Great midfield battle. Marr right with them now, having disposed. Well, he didn't really have to dispose him. He's having a look at Pinfeld there, but that's not really a good overtaking manoeuvre, although Richie Faulkner might say different. He took the lead, of course, of the Maxes there earlier on, but it's not a conventional overtaking place. Darren Marr now moving around behind Pinfeld, looking for a gap, running a little bit wide on that corner, trying to get a good run on the way out. Leaders go through, but this is the battle we're watching now. Out over the curbs there, Rob O'Keefe, and using a little bit of grass, but still getting away, so good run for him. Heading towards the finish now, big battle on for the leaders. Curran just fighting off a last lap attack from James O'Keefe. O'Keefe dives down the inside, we're on board with him, but Curran slams the door shut. I don't think so, says Curran, and heads to take a fantastic double win, and right with him there, James O'Keefe. So really good battle at the front. McMaster comes across the line to take third place. Emmett Scully right with him. And then Robert O'Keefe and Nathan Koss. So it's Curran, O'Keefe, McMaster, Scully, O'Keefe and Nathan Koss. So KZ2, the first final for the quickest machines on track all weekend. These machines now lapping 2 seconds quicker than a Rotax Max. We're on board with number 2, Michael Curran. That's Mark Daly ahead of him. 18, Scully. 1, James O'Keefe in there too. 20, Robert O'Keefe just down the inside. But up the front, it's 7, James Tumulty leading. From 4, Darren Marr. Marr always easily identifiable by that distinctive Daedlow coloured helmet. He's in second place and very easy to spot. Then it looks like number 1. It is number 1, James O'Keefe next up. So O'Keefe in third place. Number 1 denotes the reigning champion, of course, but James Tumulty going nicely out in front. Marr in second place. The gap opening up. This is a cracking first lap now for Tumulty on cold tyres. Remember, look at the way these Gearbox cars just drift through that last corner. But a little bit slow on the straight. Wonder if he missed a gear, because Darren Marr gets a great run at him. Down the inside, they're still side by side. Tumulty sitting it out on the outside here, but Darren Marr eventually makes the move, stick 1.5 corners later and takes the lead back from Tumulty, and a little bit of a train behind him now. That's O'Keefe, Scully, Nathan Koss in there, number 10. So great battles all the way down the field, but Darren Marr beginning to get the head down out in front now. So I'm not sure what happened, but he certainly came from a length or two back and just was alongside by the time they got to the braking zone for that corner. We're on board again with number 2, Michael Curran, 46, Mark Daly in front of us, 10 just ahead of him. That's Nathan Cosso. A great train of karts in this, and you can just see the way they drift around, and especially on the long right-hander here, big armful of opposite locks, some of them getting beautiful four-wheel drifts. One beginning to pull, or one in third place now, I should say. That's 4 beginning to pull away. Darren Marr. 7, James Tumblety, maybe just not that quick in a straight line, having to defend again. We saw as they came down the back straight, having to go to the inside to make sure nobody got a dive down the inside of him. And number 1 right there in third place, James O'Keefe. And a problem with the back of O'Keefe's cart. We can see the bumper has come loose there. Just look at the back of his cart. There it is on the left hand side. Probably had a little bit of contact. Another great onboard shot from Curran as we close in on 46, Mark Daly. But certainly number 1 has got a little bit of a problem there, O'Keefe. The back bumper loose. Maybe it won't slow him down too much. Cost, Scully, all the rest tussling away in this battle, and what a great shot it is. On board now, 46 still hanging on the back, and again, little drift from him. Look at Darren Marr, number 4, head down there getting away. Tumulty hanging on in second place, and number 1, O'Keefe right with him. They've made a little bit of a break back to Emmett Scully, I think that is, and Cost right with him. So possibly a mistake there for O'Keefe, dropping back a little bit, number 1, and he's playing with the steering wheel. Obviously a problem with the cart there. It's all over the place, and he's getting back to the inside. And who's that? Scully having a go at him now, and just hanging on, trying to hang on for a podium position inside the final lap. And down the inside goes 10. Is that Cost? It's Scully, and Cost goes with him. So unfortunately, inside the final lap, and getting a little bit of help from us as well. The onboard man, Curran, just not able to avoid him, and that is such a shame for number 1, James O'Keefe. Obviously a problem for him. So now it looks like Emmett Scully, 18, has engineered his way up to a podium position, but not just yet. He's under attack now on the final straight. Cost right with him, but Darren Marr, great win for him. He's delighted with that fist in the air. Darren Marr takes the win. Tumulty in second. Emmett Scully gets a podium in third. Nathan Coss in fourth. Mark Daly in fifth. And our onboard cameraman, Michael Curran, in sixth.
Darren, congratulations, a great win. Can you talk us through the race for you?
Yeah, we were lucky we had a good starting position for that one, and we got away behind James, and I knew we had to pass him early on and try to get a gap, and for luck it worked out for us for once. So we were blessed. Yeah, hopefully we can do the double now. It's a hard track to overtake on, so if we can get away first again, fingers crossed we can do the same.
Amma on the grid before final 2 for the KZ2s. A quick shower, and some of them thinking about wets, but they're putting slicks back on the carts now. It's drying out, but the track is a little bit damp in places. So we go straight into the final. Down they come to the grid, and Darren Marr it is, on pole position of course, by virtue of that first win. We're on board with Michael Curran, 10 right in front of us, Nathan Coss, 46 just getting through Mark Daly, but no problem for Darren Marr, he's out in front, and a big lunge down the inside for second place. I think that was Scully, indeed it was, didn't quite make it on that occasion. Michael Curran right in the middle of it there, making up a place halfway around the first lap. So they're the first 3 in front of us. Very close into the inside. You can see a few spots of rain. We spoke about that earlier, but they are on slick tyres. Slick tyres will still work as long as there's no standing water. They can get a bit of heat into them on the first lap. But certainly Darren Marr looking like he's throwing caution to the wind, really having a go on the first lap and stretching that lead early on. I think it's fully dry on the back straight. Here he comes now. Great lead for him. We're on board with Michael Curran. He's having a look at number 18. That's Emmett Scully. Does he get down the inside? Not quite. Scully holds on the outside line there. Great stuff from him. So good battles in these. The quickest karts on the track, as we said all weekend, but just look at the lead Darren Marr has got. We know he's got plenty of pace, but he's got away, and the scrap has started behind him. Number 1 having a look down the inside after that terrible race, James O'Keefe. Bad ending for his race, as we saw in the first final. He'll be desperate to try and make amends in this one, but they're coming back towards us now. Scully right in the middle of this one. Tumulty just ahead of him, but looking for a gap already now and having a go down the inside. Doesn't make it on that occasion, so 7 hanging on in front of this one. Watch out for number 1. Remember, we know how quick he is. He did have that problem and will need to climb back up through the grid if he's looking for championship points. Darren Marr absolutely streaking away at the front of this one. Tumulty hanging on there, 2 wheels over the curves, but that sends him a little bit wide. Scully gets by contact now with Curran off into the gravel, and that's 2 of them gone. Oh, and just he tried to get back onto the racing line there, and somebody was just coming through, so dragging the cart back out, but that'll put them out of contention, and that will help, of course, number 1, James O'Keefe. So his luck probably has changed a little bit. 46, Mark Daly next on his shopping list. Down the inside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Maybe he can. It's side by side through the right-hander. Great move there. Just about snatches that third place there. So Scully in second place. And Darren Marr it is miles out in front, but good scraps all the way down through the rest of the grid. Here they come back out onto the straight again. Scully under a little bit of pressure now for number 1. We're jumping forward there towards the closing stage of this one. Scully getting the cart out of shape on the brakes and just flicking it over the curb there on the inside. But number 1 staying right with him. James O'Keefe now piling on the pressure. Scully in over that inside curve, very distinctive black side pods on that, easy to spot. We're inside the final lap now. I wonder can Scully hang on, because this is big pressure from number 1 now, James O'Keefe. We're heading for the finish. There's a back marker in the way, but he stays well out of the way there. Good stuff from him. So Scully and O'Keefe now, half a lap to go. Scully hanging on, drove a great first lap, really was on the attack now, and he's defending down the inside, doesn't want to leave any gap at all, knows he's got a quick man behind him. Number 1 just shows him the nose there on the way out, but here's our leader, putting the head down, still urging the cart on, but miles ahead of anyone else. This is the battle for second place. Darren Marr takes another win, great stuff from him. Emmett Scully, is he going to hang on for second place? He just hangs on for second place. James O'Keefe in third, Mark Daly in fourth, then it's Coss and Robert O'Keefe in sixth.
Emmett, well done. Second place. Can you talk us through the race?
Started off quite good. I was in third behind James Tumulty. I felt I was a little quicker and managed to get by and managed to hold off Mick as well. But towards the end then I was just running out of grip for some reason and just about hang on to go on to second. So not too bad.
KZ2 first final away, and it's number 1 on pole position, reigning champion James O'Keefe. He gets away to Michael Curran. We're on board with him and he's right with him now. The cart's moving around. These carts incredibly quick, quicker even than the Rotax Maxes, and getting around today and under the 32nd bracket at Kart World in Watergrass Hill. 7 with a good opportunistic move there. James Tumulty up to second place, down the inside of 2 Marr on that occasion, and he's up to second place now, but number 1 beginning to ease away already. James O'Keefe now completing the first lap. Nobody troubling him. He's got away from pole position, done beautifully, and a good lap on cold tyres. And that may have broken the back of this race for him, because the battle breaking out, as we can see now. We're in the middle of it with Michael Curran having a go back at 7. It'll frustrate Curran now, seeing O'Keefe getting away and 7 getting defensive, move backward down the inside and back up to that second place now. So Curran takes second place back on lap 2, but I think it's a little bit too late, because with the head down, getting away, number 1, reigning champion James O'Keefe, driving beautifully out front. And already possibly 5, 6, 7 cart lengths gap. In fact, probably more as they come around. They're slowing each other down, battling for second place. Nobody in front. There's a clear track, what every kart driver loves to see, through that long, quick right-hand corner, up through the gearbox now, and these carts, and down towards the first hairpin. So number 1, not putting a foot wrong, James O'Keefe. Beautiful drive. Looks over his shoulder. He can't believe how far back they are, I'm sure. Good battle beginning for third place here. That's Tumulty, Wheeler, Pinfield and Nathan Goss all in there, and it's getting a little bit fraught now. That's number 7 getting a little bit out of shape. Tumulty was up to second place. He's falling back through them, and that's Wheeler has just taken it back, but he's down the inside of Gary Wheeler and takes it back again, and bringing number 6 with him. That's Mark Pinfield. So it's all changed. Really is a hectic battle, this one, for third place. Big move down the inside by Wheeler again. 55, brave move into that first corner, and he gets ahead of Goss, but Goss back down the inside again. And Tumulty in a bit of trouble up front. A little bit of contact. Who's going to come out of that best? They're all slowing down. Goss down the outside, but 7, Tumulty takes it back on the brakes, with Goss again with a better exit, gets by him. And these sequence of hairpins are always great for classic racing here in Watergrass Hill in Cork. You can mess up a hairpin and you're a sitting duck for the rest of them. Here we go now, out onto the main straight one more time. It's all the same up front, but this is the battle we're watching, and that again is Wheeler down the inside of Tumulty. Good move down into turn 1. Tumulty looking to fight back now as they head down the long back straight onto the brakes. Thinks about having a look down the inside, but probably knows that'll slow them both down. So staying in the wheel tracks now is number 7, James Tumulty. Wheeler that is in front of him. Oh, problem for Tumulty there. You can see him just stabbing the gearbox. Not sure if he missed a gear or something went wrong, but he was frantically at the hand controls and the pedals there. Heading to the finish now on the last lap with number 1. A class act from him from pole position, just driven away from everybody else. As we said, that superb first lap really did it for him. The rest were battling. He got the head down. He's going to take a strong win, a dominant win here at Kart World in Watergrass Hill. So James O'Keefe takes the win. So official results: O'Keefe, Curran, Marr, Pinfeld, Koss and Gary Wheeler.
James, congratulations. That was a very confident win.
I won the 2 heats from my grip position, so I was confident enough. I had the pace. I had good pace today. It's my local track, so
You had a little bit of advantage. You're well used to it, so
yeah, small bit.
KZ2, final two, Gearbox carts away and up through the box now, down towards the first corner, and again number one on pole position. Be looking to do the double. It's hard to see somebody beating him after the dominant performance in race one. They won't think that. Darren Marr having a look down the inside. Nathan Koss thinking of a big brave lunge, but I think it would have ended up in carnage. He thought so too and backed out of it. So number one it is from two in second place, Michael Curran. Then all the rest a little bit sideways there coming out of the hairpin for Darren Marr. He's still there in third place. The battle again for fourth place. They're all having a go. Koss in the middle of that one, and Pinfeld, Wheeler, all the usual suspects. So great racing in this one. First two just tending to drive away, but that fourth place, third place of course in race one was Darren Marr, and that's where he is in this one. But the battle for fourth is going to be hectic surely as they close up. Gearbox carts, as we said, the quickest carts racing here all weekend, and a little bit of a handful now as they come down through the gears into these, beginning to just drizzle a little bit now, so the track going to get greasy, and that's going to make it even harder for these guys. Certainly not harder for James O'Keefe. You can just see at the top of the screen he's beginning to ease away again out front. So 66 Gary Wheeler, these are the two guys that were having a go in the last race. He's got number 7 James Tumulty behind him. So will Tumulty have a go now? Closes in. It's definitely getting greasing out there. The track got a little bit darker, beginning to go wide. Tumulty with a better run out of the long right hand corner, down the inside. Good move, gets it stopped. And can Wheeler have a go back? He gets alongside, but not quite. And Tumulty stays to the inside for the second hairpin. That'll slow them down, but it defends his position. Oh, and sideways around goes Wheeler. As we said, you can see from the camera lens, it's getting very, very slippery now. Wheeler's rejoined, and in fact he's about to be lapped by the leader, because here comes James O'Keefe now as he eases away from everybody else, and Wheeler pointing down the inside just to stay out of the way of the leader. What he'll want to do now is tuck in behind James O'Keefe. Everybody wants to compare themselves to the pace setter in karting. You see it on Saturday in testing. They always want to get in behind them, see how much they're quicker, see where they're quicker, and then get back to the pits and work out why. So this will be a little bit of testing now for Gary Wheeler, as he's trying really hard to hang on to number one. But James O'Keefe certainly the class here this weekend. He's out to the outside, across the line again. Wheeler right with him, but we'll ignore him. He's a lap down, so James O'Keefe takes the win. Curran again in second place, and the podium the exact same because Darren Marr takes third. And then best of the battlers is Nathan Koss from Tumulty and Mark Pinfield.
Michael, congratulations, second place. James O'Keefe is a hard man to catch.
Yeah, around here he is. Yeah, the weather isn't playing to our advantage either. But yeah, we'll just keep plugging away and see how we can go for the next one for the O-plate, you know.
So KZ2's next up for their final. Fastest carts here all weekend. Darren Marr out in his own. In fact, perhaps a sitting duck on the way down to the first corner. They weren't really in formation there, but they've been let go. Darren Marr around the outside. 46 Mark Daly there too. 3 abreast. It's one right with them, O'Keefe, and it's a drag race there, and Marr just hangs onto it. Darren Marr there, and we're on board with 22 Michael Curran. Around we go into the gravel, should recover from that one, but the leader's already heading back out towards the back of the circuit. Darren Marr it is, already under big pressure from 46 Mark Daly. Here they come out onto the back straight. Darren Marr leading, Daly right with him, looking very threatening, flicks it out, gets down the inside. Surely we're on board with Darren Marr. There he is down the outside. Marr thinking of having a go, back at him now. Really quick in a straight line, these carts. Gearbox carts, of course. And the first 3 together, because right with them, a danger man, James O'Keefe, number 1. We've seen him on the programme before, winning a few of these races, and number 1, meaning he won the championship last year. He's now down the inside of Darren Marr, and just stops the cart at the apex there. Good stuff from him, good defensive driving once he'd made the move, and that slowed Darren Marr down. And now they're equally spaced, this trio out front, but 46 it is leading. Jumping back there to 6, that's Pinfeld, I think it is. Nathan Koss, number 10, right with him. And good battle between these two guys. And in fact, that looks like a novice plate behind them, isn't it? It is. It's number 12, that's Jason Connaughton going well. But a change down the inside, surely there. That's Koss down the inside, but fighting back is Pinfeld. They're side by side on the way out. Great battle between these two. Koss should just about hang on to that one. Indeed he does. But what about Jason Connaughton, the novice, right with them? If you've got black plates in karting, it means you haven't done 6 races yet. So this guy really is one to watch. He's all over the back of these guys, having a go at Koss now. In fact, gets alongside him, has to back out of it, but definitely no, he doesn't. He's still having a go, and he's got by him. So great stuff now by Connaughton. Very much one to watch for next year. Number 12 still on the black plates. Jumping forward to the leader now, and it's still 46 Mark Daly, but he's under big pressure from number 1 James O'Keefe. Here they come. O'Keefe with a big lunge from well back, gets down the inside but has to back out of it because 46 Mark Daly turns in. So inside the final lap now, and I wonder can he close back up again for another go before this one. That's cost him a little bit of time. 46 Mark Daly leads now, as he has done more or less from the start of this one, but on a charge, number 1 James O'Keefe. A different line for O'Keefe, slightly tighter there on the way onto the back straight, probably a little bit quicker indeed. He's close enough to have a go. Well, he's close enough to get right with him on the brakes now for the last time. Here he comes, doesn't have a go on the inside, out of shape, the leader right on the limit there, and one right with him. It's going to be a really close one on the way to the line. Doesn't leave the gap open on the inside for O'Keefe to have a go. O'Keefe tries a narrower line on the way out, it doesn't work. Mark Daly takes the win, and right with him James O'Keefe. Great race between those two guys. Darren Marr is going to take third place, Nathan Koss next up, then Connaughton and Mark Pinfield.
Mark, congratulations. That was a great battle between yourself and James.
Yeah, that was great. I was very tight at the end. I could hear him behind me the whole time, so I just closed all the lines. He probably was a small bit quicker because I saw there was a bit of a gap, but then he closed up to me, so I knew just to drive a small bit defensive. Just pulled it off at the end, thank God.
And it looks like he's probably going to take the championship. I'd say it might have been a different story if you'd been able to race a little bit more yourself this year.
Fairness, he was the most consistent driver out there, and week in, week out, he's probably one of the quickest fellas anyway, so he deserved to win it.
So the second KZ2 final getting ready to go, and 46 going to lead them down to the first corner, getting a little bit of help from Darren Marr, but it's Mark Daly leading, and O'Keefe on the outside. O'Keefe looking to hang on to this. We're on board with number 2 Michael Curran. Little bit of contact there at 12, just being shuffled out to the outside, but all having a go now with the first 3 beginning to make a little bit of a break already. We're on board with number 4 Darren Marr. He's in second place. 46 Daly still leading this one, and 1 of course James O'Keefe, who went so well in the last one, in third place. So Mark Daly looking to get away now from Darren Marr. Darren Marr trying to hang on there in second place. That's Curran in fourth place, number 2, who we had the onboard spin with in the first final, so he's trying to make amends. Darren Marr with a big dive down the inside, doesn't quite carry it off for some reason. 46 Daly just keeps it going around the outside, and O'Keefe there in third place, and looking threatening is Curran right with them in fourth. They're beginning to pull away from everybody else now, but as it was in heat 1, in final 1 I should say, 46 Mark Daly leading this one, Darren Marr there in second place. We're on board again with Michael Curran in fourth place, but as we said, O'Keefe will be looking to dispose of Darren Marr and stop 46 Mark Daly from getting away. This is like an action replay of the first one. Look at O'Keefe having a look in some unusual places on the track. He's obviously got plenty of pace, goes wide to try and get another run. Curran right with him as well. They come out onto the back straight absolutely together. Darren Marr trying to hang on in second place. Surely O'Keefe will have a go down the inside. He pulls out and gets down the inside on that occasion, and in fact Curran going to go with him. He does. Curran now up to third place, so Curran having a much better run than he had in race 1 when he was removed or spun, we're not sure, early on, but he's now up to third place in this one. So O'Keefe got to get the head down if he's going to catch 46 Mark Daly. Daly with a good lead. Here he is coming out of that long right hand corner, jumping forward now, last lap, and they're side by side. O'Keefe has closed them down, gets the inside and takes the lead inside the final lap. So that'll be heartbreaking for 46 Mark Daly. He'll surely have a go back somewhere around this last lap. He's led it for the whole race, and just to lose out on the last lap will be really tough for him. But number 1, very experienced again. So the super experienced O'Keefe now leading inside the final lap, just 2 corners to go, and I think 46 Mark Daly a little bit too far back to have a go, so he's timed it perfectly now. Number 1 James O'Keefe leads them, just 1 corner to go. He surely won't make a mistake here. It's been a strong run from him, fought off some of the others, got by Darren Marr up to take the lead, and James O'Keefe takes the win. Mark Daly in second place, and Curran wins the battle from third, from Darren Marr, Nathan Koss and Mark Pinfield. In KZ2s, the new champion is James O'Keefe, with Michael Curran in second and Darren Marr third.
James, congratulations. A great end to a great year for you. You're now the official 2012 KZ2 champion. How do you feel?
Yeah, feels great. I win in a second today, just after sealing it. I'd say kind of won it every track in one of the finals on one of the race days, so just quick in all the tracks.